Welcome to my channel, where we'll journey through history's most extraordinary moments. Today, we'll unveil the top 10 events that left the entire world captivated, breathless, and standing still. But before we begin, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. 1. Apollo 11 Moon Landing, 1969. The Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969 was an extraordinary event that captured the collective imagination of people all around the world. The mission was the culmination of years of dedicated effort, scientific exploration, and technological advancement, making it a testament to human achievement. When Neil Armstrong took those historic steps onto the lunar surface and uttered the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," it signified a profound shift in our understanding of what humanity could accomplish. The live broadcast of this momentous event was watched by millions, and it became a symbol of unity and possibility during a time of global tension, as it showed that humanity could transcend boundaries and reach for the stars. 2. Kennedy's death. On November 22, 1963, President Kennedy, the First Lady, Governor Connolly, and his wife were in Dallas on a campaign trip when shots rang out in Dealey Plaza. Governor Connolly was wounded, and President Kennedy fatally shot. He died at Parkland Memorial Hospital. Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with a complex history, was arrested but killed by Jack Ruby 2 days later. The Warren Commission concluded Oswald acted alone, but conspiracy theories persisted. On November 24, 1963, Kennedy's coffin lay in the Capitol's rotunda, and he was buried the next day in a state funeral at Arlington Cemetery, attended by representatives from 92 nations. His assassination remains a lasting and painful public memory for many Americans. 3. The fall of the Berlin Wall, 1989. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 was a historic turning point in the 20th century, marking the end of the Cold War and the beginning of a new era in global politics. The Berlin Wall, which had physically and ideologically divided East and West Germany, became a symbol of the broader East-West divide between the United States and the Soviet Union. When it came down, it represented not only the reunification of a divided nation, but also a dramatic shift towards the spread of democracy, human rights, and peaceful coexistence. The collapse of the wall signified the power of the people and their yearning for freedom and self-determination, which had profound implications for global peace and stability. 4. Princess Diana's death, 1997. The tragic death of Princess Diana in a car accident in Paris on August 31, 1997, had a profound and unprecedented impact on the world. Diana, often referred to as the People's Princess, was a beloved and iconic figure known for her philanthropic work, charisma, and humanitarian efforts. Her untimely passing at the age of 36 sent shockwaves of grief and disbelief across the globe. The immediate outpouring of sorrow and public mourning was unprecedented, as millions of people from all walks of life expressed their sadness and loss for a woman who had transcended her royal role to connect with the public in a deeply personal way. The aftermath of Princess Diana's death also prompted significant reflection on the role of the media and the public's relationship with celebrities. 5. Election of Nelson Mandela, 1994. The election of Nelson Mandela as South Africa's first black president in 1994 was a watershed moment in the nation's history and a globally significant event. It symbolized the successful dismantling of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination that had persisted for decades. Mandela's election marked a remarkable transition from a repressive regime to a democratic and inclusive government, demonstrating the power of peaceful reconciliation and the triumph of justice and equality over oppression. Mandela's presidency was a beacon of hope not only for South Africa, but for the entire world. His leadership and commitment to reconciliation and nation-building served as an inspirational example of how former adversaries can come together to forge a new path. 6. Chernobyl nuclear disaster, 1986. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986 was a catastrophic event that sent shockwaves around the world, not just because of its immediate and devastating impact, but also due to its lasting global repercussions. The explosion and subsequent radioactive fallout at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine not only caused immediate deaths and illnesses, but also led to long-term health and environmental consequences. The disaster forced the international community to confront the risks associated with nuclear energy, leading to a reevaluation of safety protocols and regulations for nuclear facilities worldwide. It raised awareness about the need for transparency, accountability, and cooperation in the management of nuclear power. 7. Falling of the Twin Towers in 2001. The fall of the Twin Towers in the 9/11 attacks on September 11, 2001, was a pivotal moment in world history. These horrific events, in which terrorists hijacked commercial airplanes and crashed them into the World Trade Center in New York City, not only resulted in a devastating loss of life, but also had far-reaching global implications. The immediate aftermath saw an unprecedented outpouring of sympathy and support for the United States from nations all around the world. People from different cultures, backgrounds, and political affiliations stood together in solidarity with the victims and their families, demonstrating the global compassion that can arise in times of tragedy. The 9/11 attacks fundamentally reshaped the world's understanding of terrorism and security. 8. The end of World War II, 1945. The end of World War II in 1945 marked a monumental moment in history, signifying the culmination of a devastating conflict that had engulfed the world for 6 years. Victory over both Japan and Germany brought an overwhelming sense of relief, jubilation, and celebration to millions around the globe. The war had exacted an enormous toll in terms of human lives, with millions of soldiers and civilians losing their lives. The end of hostilities brought the promise of peace and the opportunity for nations to rebuild and recover from the immense destruction and suffering caused by the war. The end of World War II also paved the way for the post-war era, with the creation of the United Nations and the establishment of a framework for international cooperation to prevent future global conflicts. 9. The Arab Spring, 2010 to 2012. The Arab Spring, which unfolded from 2010 to 2012, was a series of transformative uprisings and protests that swept across the Middle East and North Africa, igniting a fervent quest for political change, human rights, and freedom. It was a highly significant global moment, as millions of people took to the streets in countries like Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, Syria, Yemen, and Bahrain, demanding an end to autocratic regimes and oppressive policies. The world watched in awe as ordinary citizens, often using social media to organize and share their stories, challenged entrenched authoritarian rule in the pursuit of more inclusive and democratic societies. The Arab Spring had a profound impact on the region and beyond. 10. The COVID-19 pandemic, 2019 present. The COVID-19 pandemic, which began in 2019 and continues to have a profound impact today, is arguably one of the most significant global events in recent memory. The emergence of the novel coronavirus and its rapid global spread led to an unprecedented disruption of daily life across the world. Lockdowns, travel restrictions, and social distancing measures were implemented to curb the virus's transmission, and these measures brought entire nations to a standstill. The pandemic has not only posed immense challenges to healthcare systems and economies, but also highlighted the importance of international cooperation and preparedness in the face of global health crises. The pandemic has had far-reaching and ongoing consequences. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more engaging content, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.